Hello guys, I'm DreadDread88 back with another episode of Let's Play Rimworld. So now last time we just sort of started setting up a basic area, not really building anything other than just somewhere to sleep right now. So not that exciting right now, but eventually we're going to get into storage and all this other fun stuff and fortifying. And yeah. So now I'm just going to speed it up a little bit. So they're all chopping down wood still for a little bit, just so we have the wood to actually build this. And then that's going to be a wooden bed. Now at some point, what we're going to add in here is there's this other stockpile called a dumping stockpile. And this is essentially where like bodies and all that kind of stuff goes. Also like rocks and debris. Not sure if I added one of those in yet. I didn't see one. So what we're going to do is we're going to order to have all these rocks and all these rocks taken to that stockpile. So I want you to get rid of all that and all this. And how about those, and these? Don't know if we'll have enough room, but they'll work on it slowly. Now, one thing I am opposed to doing, and I'm not sure why exactly, is sort of doing this super speed because I feel like it's going to set everything slower. Now what we're going to do is we're going to deconstruct one of those beds. We're going to go into furniture and add 2 more of these in. Now these are quite large rooms, considering how many people are staying in them. It's only one person, but this should help with our space issue. And that's the only thing I'm aiming for right now. Alright, now we do have this. So we're going to go to overview. All our engineer guy is going to do now is he's going to research, be a patient, a doctor, and firefight. And these almost never happen unless he gets into combat. So I'm not really worried about anything at all. So he's just going to start researching. Actually, he's going to go sleep first. Then maybe he'll research. Alright, then they're going to build that bed. They're going to build this bed. And what we can do is now we can deconstruct all of this. And alright, so what are your skills? You have just pants, which is okay. You can't do anything with caring or social because you're a vet-grown soldier. So you'll just overall be our extra guy to help with growing and probably construction or mining. So that's what I'll have him do. So for right now, we're just having some research in stone cutting. So we should be okay there. And you'll slowly see this research bar go up. Now I do need a 4th bed. So we're going to add one into here. Okay, we already have one here. Alright, I want you to prioritize constructing that. And then our new guy, yeah, you don't really do anything other than grow, mine, and plant cut, which is okay. So he's just sort of our backup right now. And then he's just sort of going to keep hauling things, which will work out perfectly fine for us. Now I don't know, okay, we set all that stuff to haul. Now the next goal we're going to have is probably some type of power. Now this will eventually have to be changed, but for now it's okay. And I'm going to wait to start constructing any type of wall around this until we can create stone. So now they should be a lot happier because they're not sleeping on the ground and they're inside. And they're not in there all in separate rooms, so that should help a lot. Alright, now it's raining, of course, which is okay. Now at some point, probably want to, what we'll do now is we're going to do a zone. We're just going to make a stockpile here, and this is simply going to be for food. And that's to sort of keep all the animals from getting into here. And that'll sort of keep our food okay, I guess. Yeah, we don't have a lot of food left, so that's not good. Alright, this seems to be growing a little slow, but that should be okay. Alright, now. So I can't make you do that. Now, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea, if we want to get research done a little bit faster, to add in a second research bench. And that's what I'm going to do now, because I have a lot of people that are just hauling things around. Alright, so you're going to start constructing. There you go. And we're going to set our other guy here to help with research too. That's because they have nothing else to really do other than research stuff. So hopefully we get research knocked out pretty quickly here. And it looks like it's going a lot faster now. Because I want to get that, and I want to get the geothermal. Those are sort of my goals right now. Because then at that point, then I will have the ability to build walls, and I'll have the ability to harness this. Because this is very valuable, the geothermal vents, because you can make a lot of power off those. And then you don't need daylight, so an eclipse, you can be a lot better against an eclipse. Alright, now I do have a lot of animals here. And I thought there's a larger amount of deer down here. I don't think our new guy has a weapon, which is okay. And yeah, we're just sort of gonna let everything keep going. The days are sort of... I'll speed it up during the night, but there's sort of nothing to do other than watch them sleep now. There might be an event that pops up, but that's about it. So now we don't have any defenses because we don't have any power. So that's the other issue we have right now. So at some point we should fix that. Alright. So there we go. And we're about 8 days into this. Yeah. We've been here for 8 days, which is okay. I'm not sure where you're going. Okay, you're just sort of strolling around, which is okay. Is this sandstone? This is sandstone. So what we're going to do is we're going to order them to deconstruct that, because then we'll have a little bit of stone to work with. Now, stone is quite valuable, which is nice, but it also makes the raids harder. Because, in essence, the way the raids work is that the more value you have, the more people they're going to send in a raid. Because we already have, what, 20 limestone? That was from deconstructing that one wall. And then you should have that done. We almost have research done, which is nice. Alright, now we're gonna go for geothermal power. We're gonna have both of them work on it for right now. Now if we go into production, there's a stonecutter's table. They still need a little bit of steel for it. So I'll throw one right there. And I've never really messed around with the smithing at all, or the sculpting. But if you have a really good artist, you can make sculptures that can get you lots of money out of stone. But I prefer to use a lot of the stone just for building, just so that you can build essentially a defensive wall. So hopefully tomorrow they'll get that done. Our research is already going pretty well. We have marble and sandstone basically, and we have granite too. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let them cut anything initially, because I want to see which is the strongest of the three, and I'll use that essentially as a base wall. Yep, so now it's going to have me add a bill. So we're going to go here, make stone blocks forever. And now when they're free, as long as they have crafting enabled, I'll leave the settler to do it, they will start to bring rocks in and then make them into stone blocks. They'll probably start with marble because that seems to be the closest. Or not. Alright, so there we go. Got some stone production going. And I think it's almost the end of the month. Alright, and then this one's granite, I believe. Yep, granite. And now what we can do is we're going to go into structure. We're going to go a granite wall. We'll do a sandstone wall. We'll do a marble wall. And we're going to see how well those build. Now the bad part about these guys being old is that very quickly they could potentially die. So then we could lose someone. That's probably why they sent us a newer, younger person. Because he has no injuries at all. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, so his sight's very bad, his moving's very bad. So everything seems to be bad except he can hear well, and then everything else is going okay. Alright, so that's 595 health. 490. Alright, 420. So it looks like granite's what we're going to go with. So we're going to go in here, clear all, and then we're just going to do granite. So we're going to go orders, we're going to deconstruct this. And eventually when we get a lot of granite built up, we can start building a wall, which is nice, because then we'll have some form of protection, other than just being a nice open base out in the middle of nowhere. And then sandstone we could probably also use. Yep, so now it's telling us that summer started. The crops won't grow in the winter. You can build a walk-in refrigerator. You can, and then we'll also want to make some clothing, so when it gets cold we can actually have clothing. Now I'm not going to worry as much about that right now, but as it approaches winter we're going to need some cotton. Because that's another thing they added in here too, is temperatures. Alright, so these guys are going to just start eating all these trees, because that's what they do. Now what we can do is we can order hunting, and we're going to cancel it on these guys and those guys and that. But basically we can order hunting, and then we can kill all of them, and then given we have some power, which we'll just add on here real quick, then we can add in essentially a walk-in cooler. Alright, so who has weapons? Who has guns? I think it's our engineer guy. Alright, I'm gonna have you drop your pistol, move here. I'm gonna have you drop your knife, equip the pistol, equip the knife, and then I'm gonna have you and you. So our settler, nope, it's our oaf and our engineer are gonna go hunt beaver. And then you can go start building this little area, which for right now is going to be our temporary way to make power. So you're going to go hunt beavers, and you're going to go hunt beavers. Where are the beavers? There are the beavers. Now what we should be able to do, and that's the other thing we're going to need, is a butcher's table, because then we'll be able to essentially take the meat and turn it into something useful. So you're going to start building that, which is okay. And those weren't Alright. So did you guys get something already? I think you did. We're slowly maybe getting towards killing something. So I think that's 2 beavers we have. Right? Yeah, that's 2 beavers. So we have about 5 days to get all this up and running. Now, I don't know where you went. Alright, and you are going to go back to growing. So I want you to start harvesting. And that should help us so that they don't have to run around and get food. Yep, so you didn't get anyone. That's okay. So now if we look here, we have 2 beavers, which is okay. We'll be able to get some meat out of that. And power-wise, need another one there. And you are no longer going to go do that, because you're just too old to do that and hit something. Alright. There we go. So, I don't think you're using any. Alright, so let's see how big this raid is. Should be only like 1 person. Yep, and you're gonna go melee attack that person. Alright, so we're gonna ignore him. Although he would not be a bad one. What's your gear? You have nothing, really. So I'm not too worried about that. I'm gonna have you take that. I'm gonna have you take that. I don't know why we have 2 of these brawlers with ranged weapons. So we're gonna ignore you for now. I'm gonna add the bill, butcher creature, do forever. We're gonna exclude humans. And then, what's our temperature in here? Cool. So we're doing okay in temperature there. So who's our cook? You're our cook. There you go. So you'll start processing the beavers, and then we'll get somewhere, because then we'll have some food. Alright, so you need to go down a couple more. And eventually we're going to have a bigger freezer and we're going to have more of these in it. But right now we have a lot of meat, so that's going to help us. Where are the alpha beavers at? Yep, so they're still hunting around and getting things. That's good. Yep, so you're gonna go rest. At least we're injuring them slowly. We've almost got that research done, which is the good news. Alright, so the battery's short-circuited. My guess is due to temperature. But we can get that repaired. That's the bad thing about having a lot of batteries, is you can last a while under an eclipse, but if you have a lot of batteries and something goes off, that's a minor explosion. That's a very minor explosion. But you can get a lot larger explosions. So you're gonna start. So what are your needs? Okay, so they're feeding you, at least. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a stockpile in here. We're gonna clear all that. We're gonna go raw resources. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. Textiles. You're gonna be important. So then what we can do is you're gonna haul that inside, so then it's okay still. Then we can make some coats out of that. That'll help a lot. Alright, so now we're just gonna have him do gun turret cooling. And that's gonna be the end of the episode here. We're just gonna make this accessible. So there is that for us. But as always, guys, thank you for watching. If you have any recommendations on what I should do in this game, or any other games, or just anything in general, go ahead and leave that in the comments below. I always do enjoy reading comments. But thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode.